So, about accepting failure and misreading corals, the candy cane, it has been messing with me ever since it's got in the tank, I now realize, and I totally misread it. Starting with putting it here in this tank, I noted that in the mornings when I checked the reef without the light on, it didn't have the ganglies out, the fingers you get out of the LPS coral sometimes for filter. It didn't filter properly in this tank, so I started watching it more closely, and actually came to the conclusion that it was probably cranky due to the move, or cranky due to the fact that it was gonna divide or split the polyp, because I think sometimes they can be a bit cranky when they start stretching in the flesh. That was the first thing that I saw, that it didn't filter during night. But I wasn't too concerned because my other LPS was doing good in this aquarium, and when the daylight was on, it was blowing up or inflating quite well, but it did look cranky in the morning. Second thing I started to notice was that the flesh started pulling up very rapidly to the top, so you can still see that there's some white left in the skeleton from the flesh withdrawing to the top. I thought that also had like a record pace because that they wanted to divide, thriving in the tank. That was totally wrong. Third thing was when I did a water change 1 week ago. I stressed the coral even more. The siphon got in contact with one of the polyps in the rear, and then it was very cranky, this coral, when the siphon touched the coral. I mean, I basically sucked in the head in the siphon, and then I started noticing that there wasn't very much left on the base of the skeleton of the flesh. It was just in the flower or in the big so to say mushroom head. So then I started thinking that what was going on, and I think I've come to the conclusion that I placed it very poorly in this tank. It was placed on the right, you can see in the other movies, but I have quite a big strong jet coming off the Tunsa inner filter, and then it's on top of where I have the streamer. The streamer is on top of the coral, and it's quite clear in some of the films that there's a strong upwash in that corner of the aquarium. So there's a strong speed gradient and upwash, and just generally strong flow. So I actually think now what has happened is that the flesh withdrew because it was too high current, in particular during nighttime, when I think the coral isn't as strong. So I totally misread this coral, and I think it's going to cost me. It's not doing so well, so I think it's going to cost me this coral. I think I'm going to lose it. Currently, actually, the head on the left is looking quite okay, but the head on the right is grumpy, and there's barely anything left on the head in the back. So, yeah, failing, it sucks a lot. Yeah, I don't think anyone likes it, and this really come bite me from behind, because I was monitoring it, but I misread it. I thought that it was grumpy because it's gonna split into 2 polyps, and I didn't. Yeah, this tank has only been running for 4 weeks now. It's the 4th week, and I don't know the flow characteristics fully of this tank. So, and I think this was borderline, because it was fine in the daylight, but it killed it in the night. So failing sucks, no one likes it, and I think the biggest failure is if you don't learn anything from it. And I think I learned the hard way that I should invest in a night mode on the pumps, so that they increase the flow during daytime, and also do pulsations, because I don't have pulsations yet here. I only have turbulent flow. But I invest in a bigger stream pump with a better control. So I think the biggest failure is not learning something from your mistake, but I think that's the learning I take. Let's see where it goes. But by the looks of it, this candy cane is lost. And by this movie, yeah, I hope some of you will, maybe by posting it, that it can save someone else's candy cane, if you start seeing the behavior on yours or similar LPS.